What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. And yes, this match, this is the big one. This is, one of the matches, one or two or three of the matches, the teams that you're looking for at the start of the season that you want to beat. Yes, it's the Arsenal versus Manchester United game at the Emirates. Big game. Now, obviously, like I said, huge game. We're going to preview it. We're going to go through all of the usual, looking at them, looking at us, looking at the previous games between us, everything like that. But before we get into that, just as I was setting up to record, obviously we've got a huge, here we go. It's not huge. It's not huge at all. Actually, why did I describe it as huge? We've got here we go from the usual suspect, Mr. Romano himself. And actually, David Ornstein has also followed that up with the medicals and all that kind of stuff. Yes, Sergio Reguilon has been confirmed will be signing for United. Before I give you my opinion on this, let me just give you the facts, all right? So let's read out the facts just to keep it nice and simple. So Fabrizio has come up and said, Sergio Reguilon to Manchester United. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place with Tottenham on a loan deal. Understand medical checks are taking place right now, and there will be a break clause to break the loan deal in January. Obviously, that means the Marc Cucurella deal is off straight. And then David Ornstein also said that recently on The Athletic, I've got that here. He says, Sergio Reguilon has, I can't even say the guy's name, man. That's how excited I am about this transfer. Sergio Reguilon has completed his Manchester United medical ahead of a loan deal from Tottenham Hotspur. United's deal for Reguilon is a straight season-long loan with no fee or option to buy, which is good, I guess. And there's a break clause in January. So we're basically saying, we're going to cover his wages. We're basically saying we're going to probably return this guy to you in January once our starting left backs are fit, aka Shaw and Malacia. In the meantime, can we have him for 3-4 months and then you can have him back? I mean, he's 26-year-old. He's coming to undergo medical. Obviously, he says as well, Cucurella was the priority target, but his appearance for Chelsea last night against Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup complicated things. So yeah, we literally have to kind of make do with this Reguilon guy. And obviously, we've still got potentially Amrabat. The reason I mentioned this is because he says United's decision was made for football and financial reasons, and there is hope that Fiorentina midfielder Sofiane Amrabat can also be secured before Friday's 11 p.m. deadline. So yes, transfer deadline day is tomorrow, 11 p.m. This time tomorrow, actually, pretty much. We will know exactly what squad we have for the season, or at least until January. And yes, okay, so we're talking about Reguilon, and for me, it's not the most exciting signing. Let's be honest, we needed him, yes. And we have to get behind him, and we will get behind him because he's a United player for the foreseeable. But this is not an exciting signing, let's be honest, right? But it was thrust upon us in the sense that, one, this club is broke. We have no money. Like we're struggling to. I think there were rumours that we put in a £1 million loan fee offer for Cucurella yesterday, or how you say his name, and obviously that was rejected by Chelsea because it's shocking. It's basically the equivalent of begging. So that was bad. And we can't get anybody over the line. Ryan Gravenberch has gone to Liverpool. We've been struggling to get Amrabat. Apparently he will still come, so let's hope and pray that happens. But we are in a mess right now. It's a transfer mess. We've got a whole lot of injuries. Shaw, obviously, and after my preview from last game, Shaw was announced as injured. Then obviously we had Varane get injured during the game. Then we obviously that adds to the Malacia injury, Maino injury, Ahmad injury. Who else? Mount is injured, and Heaton obviously injured. Hopefully, we've got Højlund come back this game. We'll talk about that when I give you my predicted 11. But we're just in the pits right now. We're struggling. Financially, the club is a mess. Ownership is obviously a mess. I don't think we realize how poor this club is at the moment, or how lacking of funds in terms of funds that we can spend the club has. We're seeing that right now, and we're struggling. We're getting to the final stage of this transfer window, and it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a rushed mess. But anyway, let's park that. Actually, before we park that, just to kind of cover the whole transfer side, Henderson obviously gone as well. He's gone to Crystal Palace. We've also had the announcement just now I saw as well that Tender Mengi's gone to Luton. So even with all of this, we still don't have the money to to buy Amrabat or to get some players over the line. I don't know. I don't really know what is going on at this club, but it's very draining and it's very annoying as a United fan to be seeing all of this happening when you're considering other teams like City, Liverpool, Arsenal even, and Chelsea. They're spending and splurging without any issues. They're buying and improving their teams, and we're out here struggling to scrape together money to get a backup left back in Sergio Reguilon, a midfielder that is much needed in Sofiane Amrabat. It's a struggle and it's a drain. But with all of that being said, let's look at the game ahead of us, which is obviously the Arsenal game. And before, obviously, as always, we get into the Arsenal game, we get into Arsenal themselves and then into my predicted 11 for this game. Talking point for me has to once again be our away form, right? And I don't want to be a broken record. And I spoke about the away form last away game, which was the Spurs game. But we didn't help ourselves. We lost that game, even though we started off well. And actually, when you consider last year, we faced Tottenham as well. We played them away, and we were 2-0 up. Once again, we started well, but we still let them get back into the game and draw that game 2-2. So our away form is actually really bad, and this, of course, extends into last season. I think we only won 8 games last season at home, 3 draws, 8 losses. So, overall, you think that's not that bad, really, actually, because I think 8 wins away from home is probably... I think we were 5th in the away league table last season. So you're thinking that's not too bad. But the main issue is our away form against the top half of the league. Now, we only beat one, and by top half I mean top 10 teams, right? Obviously, that included us. So the 9 teams that make up the rest of that top 10, we only beat one of them away from home. And I believe that was Fulham, who finished 10th. So you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, right? And then in terms of the rest of them, we drew to Spurs, like I said, 2-2. So we only won 1 and drew 1 against the top 10 from last season, which is really bad. That's 9 games away from home. We could only win 1 and draw 1. The rest of them we lost. And okay, when you consider, if you're thinking of the traditional big teams, I think we beat Chelsea away. No, we drew Chelsea away from home. So that's another, fair enough, they didn't finish in the top half, but that just goes to show our mentality away from home. It just isn't doing what it needs to be doing. We've been shocking, and that's, like I've already said, extended into this season against Spurs. So when on that backdrop, right, you then consider Arsenal and us facing Arsenal away from home now at the Emirates. Obviously, last season we faced them at the Emirates and it was a 3-2 loss, and I was there at that game. And it was a good game to watch, to be fair. And we played, and I think going to that game, I can't remember how we were feeling. I don't think we probably expected to win the game, but we played well, and I was actually quite happy with our performance. It was a shame that we lost last minute. Arsenal played very well that game. We went there without Casemiro. So, there were excuses. This time, there are no excuses. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not very confident about this game. Before we talk about Arsenal and get into a bit more, let me quickly give you my predicted 11. I'll do it quickly today because I don't think there's many debates really about this predicted 11. Obviously, Onana at back. Once again, shout out to Onana, he's been doing well. no issues for me from him. Obviously, I guess the one talking point for Onana is that he will not probably be here for January because of the African Cup of Nations, which is obviously great for him, but not so great for United because we will need a backup keeper. And talk is that we will be getting a backup keeper soon. Let's see what happens there. Anyway, back line of right-hand side, it's going to have to be Wan-Bissaka. Middle is going to have to be Lindelof and Martinez because Varane's injured. Then we've got Dalot, I reckon, at left back. We're not starting Reguilon, right? Whether he's confirmed over the line or not, we're not starting Reguilon. Surely it's going to be Dalot. If it's not Dalot, then it can't be Reguilon. Like, I don't see Ten Hag throwing him in like that without having, knowing his system, that kind of stuff. Anyway, midfield, I think will have to be Casemiro, McTominay, and Bruno. I think obviously you've got did I say McTominay? No, sorry. Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. You've got the option obviously of playing McTominay in there. I don't see that happening. Well, it's possible. It's possible because Ten Hag might want to shore up a little bit, give us a bit more security in terms of like steel in that midfield rather than and the legs that McTominay offers. But I think going from last game, we kept the ball quite well after we had to get into the game against Forest. So I think it will be the classic Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. And in the front line, it will actually has to also be Anthony, Rashford on the left, and Martial up front. Now the question mark there is Højlund gonna start? Is Højlund gonna take Martial's spot? I don't think. Once again, he's been playing well. I hear, or we hear. I don't have any extra information. We hear that Højlund has been training well. And then Denmark manager came out, said he went to go and watch Højlund at training, and he looks good. So he's been called up to the Denmark team. So yes, he seems to be fit, but I don't see him starting this game. I think he'll probably come off the bench. It would be nice to see him start actually, because if he's fit, if he's strong, if he's looking good, why not start him? To be honest, why not start him? But I think it will be Martial. Martial knows the team a bit better. He's played with the team a bit longer. He won't be able to play 90 minutes anyway, so why not start Martial and let Højlund come off the bench? That's my predicted 11. In terms of Arsenal, now, at the Emirates, we have not beaten these guys for time. I think it goes back to I think the game we beat them was when De Gea had that amazing game where he saved all the shots, right? He was unbelievable that game. And I think we won 1-0. I can't actually remember what the score of that game was. But we haven't beaten them for a while. Obviously, last season, like I said, it was a 3-2 loss. Close, but still a loss. Even if, we weren't that close to winning. Best I think we would have hoped for last season was a draw. So they've had 4 wins and a draw in the last 5 games. So I think I wrote it down. Yeah, it was 2-0, 2-0, 0-0, 3-1, and obviously 3-2 last season across the last 5 games, across the last, I guess, 3 seasons. So yeah, or 5 seasons, I guess, actually, if it's Emirates. We're struggling, let's say, against them. And they're looking good right now, I say they're looking good. Arsenal fans have kind of went into a meltdown after their draw against Fulham, because they feel like they haven't been playing very well lately. Arteta's trying a few things. Obviously, they've got Havertz in the midfield. They've got Thomas Partey playing right back at the moment, actually, which is a bit weird. If they're doing that again against us, I'll be happy. I think that we might have a chance. But even in the 3 games that they played, they won 2-1 against Forest. They beat Crystal Palace 1-0, and they obviously drew 2-2 to Fulham. They've looked good. They've looked like they could score a hatful of goals. So it just hasn't clicked. And I pray that it doesn't click now against us, because it could be a massacre if it does click, because let's be honest, we don't look that good. And also, honestly, Arsenal are a good team, right? But scrap all of that. I can't get behind. I can't. It's very hard for me right now, because I'm gonna have to predict a score, and I don't know if I can predict an Arsenal win. I definitely can't do that. Obviously the danger man for them is Saka, and who doesn't like Saka really? He's a lovable guy, likable player. So we have to watch out for him. We don't have our usual right back. I think last time we played last year against him, Shaw hasn't really done that well against him in the past anyway. So Dallo, good luck, bro. I think he'll do alright actually. I think Dallo will do alright against him. But let's see. Let's not. Famous last words. Let's see what happens. Yeah, their team is just really good. So I'm a bit worried about this game. On that note, let's get into the prediction, right? Now, like I said, I don't want to lose against Arsenal. I can't lose against Arsenal. But my head is telling me, let's look at it this way. If I was a neutral and if I didn't support either of these two teams, I would be saying 100% Arsenal win. Let's be honest. Like, Arsenal better team at the moment. United are in the mud right now, in the pits. So you would think, okay, yeah, it's probably going to be Arsenal win, right? If I was a neutral, and I'm not a neutral. As a non-neutral, my head is telling me it's probably going to be a draw. But maybe, okay, no, actually no, that doesn't make. As a non-neutral, my head is telling me to pick a draw. Not that it's gonna be a draw. My head is probably telling me it's gonna be an Arsenal win. But my head is telling me pick a draw, right? The smart thing to do is say it's gonna be a 1-1 draw. We'll definitely score, and they will probably definitely score. Probably definitely is a juxtaposition. It doesn't exist. They definitely will score as well. 1-1, but as you all know, I just can't do it. I can't predict an Arsenal win or even a non-United win. So I will put my neck out and I will say that we are going to beat these guys. We're going to kickstart our season. We're going to win 2-1. 3-1. Nah, 2-1, 2-1. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't go over the top. And we can't lose this game. Again, I said it last game, we can't lose this game because you look at it this way, right? We've had 4 games, 12 points available. If we lose this game, that means we've only gotten 6 points from available 12 points. Cool. 2 of those games were against Tottenham and Arsenal, right? Once this game's done. So you can say that's hard, but really we shouldn't be losing both those 2 games. So we have to kind of win this game. At worst, get a point from it, and 7 points from 12 points out of 12. Average start. You face 2 big teams already. 9 points out of 12, good start. You face 2 big teams already. So we need to get something from this game. Can we do it though? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. You Arsenal fans, obviously in my mentions. You Arsenal fans in my DMs, in my WhatsApps, all of that. It's gonna be a deadly day. I know. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and be here for the post-match review of this Arsenal Manchester United game because, like I said, it's gonna be a deadly day. And also, shout out again, left back signed Reguilon. Woo, yay, exciting. See you on the next one.